Hi everyone, this is Ilona Madison with Spiritual Giant. Thank you for joining me today for this daily inspiration message number 5. And this is a really important one, and it's kind of a big topic. I may end up having to do a couple of videos on this particular topic because it is such a big concept. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the actual inspiration from the Tao Te Ching is, I will work at eliminating all of my judgments of others. So, this is a big deal. The fact that we are constantly in judgment of other people, even when we find, our righteous selves, the righteousness to do so, I'm finding that there's a lot of judgment around if you're looking for it. So, the channeled message that I received said, judgment at its core is a disconnection from source and the inner beingness that is designed with only well-being in mind. No matter how righteous the cause, when we carve out a group of people to hate, dislike, or judge, we have lost our alignment. It's a powerful concept when humans can give the false premise that they deserve to be judged by their seemingly improper actions. Compassion and kindness is the only way to respond. So that was the channeled message. And, it is an interesting concept that, if we work on the premise of the law of attraction, there are no wrong actions because we can't have everything. We are all co-creating together. And so in a universe that is subject to one of the main laws of our universe is the law of attraction, basically says that we are co-creating our experiences together, which means that if someone is behaving in a certain way towards us or against us or with us, it's because we've attracted that experience into our lives. And, it's a big concept. I get that. And it's one that I've had some difficulty wrapping my brain around as well. There's a great Hawaiian ritual called Ho'oponopono, which is a forgiveness ritual that basically focuses on clearing and cleaning your own subconscious mind. And the premise of this ritual is all about 100% responsibility, self-responsibility. And basically it goes like this. If you are experiencing or even seeing, even if it's not happening to you, but if you are seeing unjust things in your experience, whether it's on Facebook or on television or whatever, then it means you have those things going on within you, and that you could not see those things outside of you if they weren't first existing within you. Now, granted, there are some real atrocities that happen outside of us that don't really in our brains match what's inside of us. But there are thoughts. We may not have never done any of these things, but sometimes there are thoughts, there are things that is making all of this possible. And so if we are truly one consciousness and someone is doing things that are displeasing to ourselves and others, we have to first look within self-responsibility. And, like I said, I'm still trying to wrap my brain around this concept as well. And I'm studying and learning more about it every single day. But that's where it begins, guys. We've for thousands of, who knows how many centuries, I don't even know the number. We've been trying to fix the world's problems by looking at managing other people. When the truth is that we're never going to be able to do that. That's never going to be the solution to any problem that we have on this planet. Our solutions always start within. And if we all make the commitment to get into alignment with well-being and the source that created us, and more of us do that, and more of us really acknowledge, and that's all we see in each other, the law of attraction says all of those things will stop. So I'm willing to give it a try. I'm willing to start by releasing judgment of others As the daily inspiration says, I will work on eliminating all my judgment of others. I'm willing to try it. What's the worst that can happen, right? I live a little bit happier. I don't take judgment on other people. It can't be so bad. So the two cards that I pulled, 100% in alignment with this topic for this particular inspiration. The first one is defeat and conflict. This is the Five of Swords. This is mental defeat, inner. This is not conflict with other people. This is all self-imposed because it's all in the mind. This is a mind card. Thoughts, air. So we wouldn't be in judgment of others if we weren't first in conflict and defeat at some level within ourselves. And so it's really interesting. This is the card that came up out of 78 different cards. And it's the truth. We must work on clearing and cleaning the conflict and defeating thoughts and processes that go on in ourselves, in our minds first. And when we do that, we release judgment of ourselves, we release judgment of others. And then the other card that came up is willingness. And this says, you are able to compromise if the end result is love. And so I looked in the book, and it actually had a really nice message. So I'm going to read this to you. It says, you have come to the earth plane to learn to accept the things you cannot change, as opposed to those you can. Life is a constant game of discovery, but no price can be put on any experience because each one transforms you. When you are willing to look inside and begin to change your habits, your self-imposed fears and perceptions, only then will you be able to see your true self. The catalyst for transformation comes from your willingness to forgive, open your heart, and be honest with yourself. You are never too old to learn, and each day should be filled with excitement about how your perspective will be altered. You can gauge your spiritual growth by your willingness to learn from and accept another. By keeping an open mind when conditions change, you expand your knowledge of life. Allowing love to radiate through you and in everything you do brings divine awareness to all those in your sphere. Rigidly adhering to your dogma is doing a disservice to your growth. The willingness to accept others and their individual path is a soul strength. I know we're all seeing it right now, especially in social media, the division among ourselves based on political beliefs, based on, all of these different things that are going on in the media. And, the truth of the matter is that the more attention you bring to that, the more you focus on it, the more it's going to happen. And so we've got to stop. I just recently decided to stop following. I didn't defriend them, but I stopped following a bunch of people who constantly are showing these videos of animals being abused. And I don't want that in my experience. I don't want to expand that into the field of awareness. I don't want to give that any more attention because I don't want it to exist. And so by not focusing on it, it is more likely for me to just send those people some love, work on those feelings in myself as one consciousness. I can do the clearing in myself with the Ho'oponopono. And I'll do a video about that, but it's basically a four-step process. It is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And if we start doing that process in the clearing and the cleaning in our own subconscious minds, that will ultimately affect the collective consciousness. And the more people, they've done so many studies, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, of the power of love and the power of love on this planet and how strong it is and how impactful that power is. That's where we need to be focusing on it. And, as righteous as we might feel by calling people out for doing things that we deem inappropriate, that's not where the focus needs to be put. The focus needs to be put on kindness, compassion, and love, general well-being. And the more you focus on these negative things, the more we are allowing them and bringing them into our experience. Because we are a universe of the law of attraction, it cannot exist if we are not attracting it to us. It's a heavy concept, I know. Like I said, I'm still wrapping my brain around it too. And I look forward to spending more time studying and reading about it. And, you know, at some point getting into more statistical or scientific data, more relative information that will help make more sense of it. It's one of those concepts that I read, I get it, it does make sense to me, and I'm now getting comfortable talking about it more. So as my awareness and knowledge of it expands, I'll be sharing that with you. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. This is the daily inspiration number 5 on the Tao Te Ching. I send you guys so much light and love. Thank you for watching. Namaste.